Okay, that's a lot of shavings. That bucket's full of my last bow. Anyway, actually these shavings make excellent kindling for starting fires if you let it dry out for a few weeks. Or an excellent fire hazard if you leave it all over the workshop. Either way, it's up to you. Now, let's have a look at this. This bow is going to be, well, it is for a lady friend. So it's short. It's about, have a look. It's about 4'8" in length. And now that's pretty much the stave carved out how I want it to be. Okay, so now it's actually going to be a very nice bow, this one. I like the look of it already. This is just my own personal experience speaking. Can't say whether it's the best advice in the world, but this is how I do it anyway with hazel. Don't taper it too much. The thickness of that limb, you want that to be pretty constant all the way down. And then the way you taper is not in the thickness of the limb here, like that, it's in the width. And you really want to be very gradual in the tapering with hazel. If you taper it too much, you can end up with practically no bend all the way down here, no flex at all there, and then the tip will curve up 90 degrees, and that's useless, obviously. So first of all, just keep it almost exactly the same all the way down the limb, same thickness, just slightly thinner towards the end, with fatness wise, and then you work the width of the bow here to get your nice taper. But don't overdo it. Start off completely the same all the way down, and then tiller it, see how it looks, and then start tapering the ends very gently on the width. Okay, it's now 3 minutes past 5 in the morning. Still dark outside. This bow is now ready to be strung for the first time. Can't really do much more on it now, no point. So I'm going to cut some notches in the end there and string that up. Right, so I have literally just cut the most basic of notches. See that? That is just going to allow the string that I'm using to slip in there nicely. That's all you really need for this. You can do any kind of notch you want though. There's different types of notches you can do. The reason I do this one is because I keep the tips of my bow quite wide. They can go thin, I can make them thin, but they're quite wide, because that's better for hazel. If you do a notch on the back, then you're going to have to reinforce that. Stick something on there, reinforce it a bit. So anyway, that's how I do them. Okay, there it is. It's quite a nice shape already, I like that. It's not perfect. Bit of a hinge on the right hand side there. Hinge is when it bends too much for the curve. Left hand side is the shape I want it to be. Right hand side needs a little bit of work there, but overall that's a nice bow. Nice shape. Yeah, well, here's the finished bow for now. Might do a little bit more to it. Take a little bit of weight off of that bit there. Off that, just a little bit of weight off. Just to make that look better. It's now 5 to 7. So I've been making this bow for 5, 6, only 3 hours. 3 hours work that is. And that is done. Back of it. 3 hours work and nothing but spoke shave, fine and coarse rasp, wood saw and some sandpaper. Oh, and a wedge and a hammer. But that bit was optional, that was just to save time. That's a nice bow, I'm happy with that. I think the lady I'm making it for will be happy with it too. And now I'm leaving the bark on the underside. Yeah, leaving the bark on just to let it dry a bit slower. I'll sand the bark down and wax the entire thing with beeswax. And then I'll probably leave that for a good couple of months, 2 or 3 months, before that's seasoned properly. Although I'm quite impatient, so I'll probably end up shooting it a few times before then. That doesn't help the bow though, doing that. But you know, what are you gonna do? Well, there you go. Obviously I'm going to sand this down a bit better still. Sand it to a perfect smooth finish before I wax it. Just feeling a bit lazy now, so I guess that's going to add another 20 minutes on, half an hour onto the time of making. Look at this now. How that looks. That's quite nice. That is about 28 inches short there. Let's try a shot. I may or may not have just hit somebody's car. I'll leave that up to you to decide.